11 months ago, I made a really stupid decision. Let me show you. Before I share my decision, you need some context. You need a little bit of insight, and then you'll understand why my decision was perhaps a tad stupid. So as you can see, we've got two cars.
And only 2 spaces.
So it'd be a really stupid decision to buy a third one. Stupid. And our Leaf is the family runabout. It's fun. This was a good decision. This was smart, Stuart. This was a considered decision. And Hetty was a passionate decision. How can you not love an old VW? They're so lovable. Ta-da! You saw Hetty. Well, this is Vinnie the Van. And yeah, he's a VW T25. 1987 vintage, 2.1 litre fuel injected engine with nothing inside it. No panels, no nothing. The floor's immaculate. Everything's done on it, all the welding. It just needs some spraying. And so that's what I'm going to do. Spray him. It may not be the last bad decision I make. And I am in a shared space. So I've got time against me, I've got noise against me, and I've got budget against me. But, you know, you're only one bad decision away from awesomeness. So
Traditionally, this is where the host would give you a walk-round tour of the van. Now, I didn't do that. I went straight to the work. So, you know, cue montage.
oh, well, I've done a door. I've not done much of a door, but I've done it well. I did also sand this door, this bit here. I haven't really got to that bit there. There's some stuff there, but yeah, sanding is boring. I'm not showing footage of sanding, sped up or otherwise. It's just boring. The previous owner did a great job of doing all the welding, but as with any old vehicle, you have to kind of go with the metal you've got and the panels you can find. And I think this panel, this replacement wheel arch, is just misaligned. Just, I don't know. It's just that the door seems to be in a bit, but if I bring it out, it's not going to seal on the seal. But it is now aligned with this body line, which it is on the other side, which it wasn't. So now we have this aligned correctly. The gap is relatively good all the way around. And hey, listen, you know, it'll be good enough for what I want it to do. So there we go. Take this thing off, banging away on the microphone. I'm going to take a little break and yeah, let some of that go off. I've just got to bring up that edge a little bit just to give it a bit more alignment so it's not so obvious. But I don't want to pack it full of filler. It's got a little bit of P38 and then some finishing filler over the top just to build it up. But it will look all right when it's done. we got to do the roof and whatever, but I'm going to hit it all over with 180, just so that I've got, you know, an idea of what the paint and the levels and the dents and the scratches and the small little bits of rust are like, clean those all up, and then fill in any small tiny, you know, scratches that are down through the paint. And I don't want to take the paint all the way back, but yeah, we're getting there. We've done the front already. The front has pretty much been finished, and was in really good condition. There was hardly any rust. And in fact, I saw on one of the old VW forums somebody saying that he was told a long time ago by somebody that he used to put silicon sealant in the in between the bodywork and the windows seal. And I've got a replacement window seal because I had a little bit of rust there, and I was like, oh, I bet that's just like the tip of the iceberg, and it's all the way along. I checked underneath it, and it's stuck really hard to the bodywork, so I don't want to start prying it up. But just this corner was loose, and that's where there was a small hole. So rather than take the window out and try and repair it, I've just filled it on this occasion, because it was 2mm hole. And I know a 2mm hole is effectively a 10mm hole with, by the time you've hit it. But again, for this project, it's perfectly acceptable. We also filled in a couple of the aerial holes, but left the main aerial hole, just filled in the screw holes, because I'm just going to put a grommet in that, because I might put a radio in it, but it's going to have a boombox and be fed by Bluetooth, so I'm not really worried about an aerial. But yeah, so all of this front panel, all of the bumper was fine. There was a bit of seam rust, but I cleaned it all the way back, hit it with some rust killer, then just sealed it over the top with some finishing filler and body panel gap stuff, rubbed it down, shot it over with some high build primer. It looks perfect, and it should hold going forward. But yeah, so we've rubbed this down. There was a little bit of you know, nibbling on the edge there, but it's not hold, it's not even pinholed. There's no damage like that. It will put a skim of filler over that, you know, finishing filler, and then high build filler primer. Be okay. Then this back edge, there is a big hole here that I can put my finger in, which is kind of where the strut is. But I might just kill the rust and pop a plate over weld a plate over that. But I can get in there and do that after I've painted it, which is suboptimal, but I've got to get this painted. I've got to get it earning its keep. Earning its keep, you say, Stuart? What do you mean by earning its keep? Well, I might have made a stupid decision in buying an old van for my project, Rebel Zombie. But what is Rebel Zombie? Stay tuned. There will be updates. Lots of updates.